Let's go! Berkley Stunna for the win, everyone. So stoked. Yeah, I had to go buy another one. Plus, went and did a little shopping. Picked up some stuff that I thought maybe I needed. You know how it goes as a fisherman. Especially after a tournament, you realize where you're deficient. We're going to get into that today. Bait rundown and veteran angler. Plus, just going to go over some things that I think I could have done better bait rotation-wise with what I have during the tournament. And where we're going from here in the tournament world. Look out, BASS kayak series. I'm not saying I'm coming in my canoe, but I'm coming. I'll be there by next year. And yes, it's just one tournament on one little lake, one little tournament. I know. I'm just excited, man. Living the dream right now, right? Like freaking tournament bass fishing. How'd you impale your lip? Well, I'm not a smart man, Jenny, but I do know what love is. Did you grow up in the 90s like me? You like recite endlessly Forrest Gump and Dumb and Dumber? Oh my gosh, that's all we did in the Army back in the day. We got an Abu Garcia edition today because just because I won it on that old stinking rod and reel. I went big at Walmart, that's right. And oh yeah, the frickin' anchor wizard is going on. That is getting done today. Driving me nuts. I've been trying to get that done since we started the canoe build. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing. Check out my old videos. I think this is like the 5th video now, maybe 6th. We're doing pretty good. We're humming along here. Got some good content, and there's gonna be a ton of more tournament kayak fishing out of a canoe. Speaking of canoe, let's check on the old girl. There she is. There's the champ. She's out there just chilling in the sun. You stay there, winter. Need to practice a little modesty and humbleness here. I'm still just so stoked on the win. I know it wasn't a big tournament, but for the rest of my life, I won my first bass fishing tournament ever. I won my first fishing tournament ever. I don't care. It's a big deal to me, and I'm proud of it, and it's exciting. And oh man, it has lit a fire inside of me. I'm like, BASS. I know that's ridiculous. Go compete against Christine Fisher and Gene Jensen and all those other huge name competitors with their $20,000 kayaks. You know, we're starting off in a canoe. Hopefully I get up to a $20,000 kayak someday with graphs and forward-facing sonar. Fluke Master has frickin', what's that Elon Musk thing? Stargate SG-1? No. Star Wars? No. What? No. Starlink. Holy crap, I'm such an idiot. Fluke Master has Starlink on his kayak. I mean, I have a wood seat, and I did put a remote 550 cord retrieval system on my canoe, but whatever, I don't care. That's what I got. Remember, fishing more with less, maybe slightly less quality allows us to fish more. More rods, more reels, rather than $2,000 setups. We have nine, we're gonna cover that today, 9 or 10 now. $100 setups or less than $100 setups. As we went over in my other video, my sub $1,000 tournament setup, go check that out, please, if you haven't yet. Like the title of the video said, Berkley Stunna for the win. I went right out, like I said, and bought another one, of course. What if I lose that one? Oh my gosh, it'd be tragic out there in my next tournament. I don't know, I'm an idiot, I know. But, so, anyways, thanks for tuning back in, everyone. Let's get to it. I just want to cover a little bit more of the gear that I use to fish with. It's really simple stuff. I don't have a lot. I don't have a wall. I have a little shelf with my spare like soft plastics and my spare soft plastics. A few. Really, that's it. I don't have maybe some line and a few of my Cast King rod boxes make it feel like they're empty, but make it seem like I got some cool stuff, but I don't. And that's fine because we make it work. So I'm gonna start off with my hard plastics because we're talking about the Stunna. By buying this one, I just added about 1/10 more hard plastics to my collection. And I'm not even kidding you. I'm not a hard plastics guy. I've caught, last year in the fall, I threw a little bit of square bill because of some video I watched. I mean, you guys suck me in with your videos, you other YouTubers. But I went out in the fall and I caught a few bass on a square bill. And that's like the extent of catching bass, catching anything on hard plastics. So I'll just show you. I know the square bills are Bagleys, I think it says on them. Yeah, Bagleys. Those are 2 Bagleys. I think those are like Bill Lewis ATVs or something. Obviously a rattle and trap in red because apparently things in the fish in the spring like red. I don't know. And some sort of walking bait spook thing. And the Stunnas in perch. That is literally 100% my hard plastics. That's it. So I've got a lot to learn. I've got a lot of room to grow. I don't even really probably have the correct rod. Maybe I do now with one of my new walleye rods that I got to throw some of that on, but it is what it is. You know, when I'm still new at this, 5 years into my bass fishing career, so to speak. And I started off right from the get-go with soft plastics and skirted jigs. I don't know why, I don't know where. I just saw one and grabbed it the first day that I went and bought some bass tackle, and here we are. So you go with what you have confidence in, and that's what I've always had confidence in, and I need to branch out a little bit. If you have to, I imagine, if you want to be a tournament fisherman, you got to try all this new stuff eventually, like electronics, which I'll get there. Just probably not today or this year, unless I win some stuff. I don't know. We'll see. From there, from the hard plastics, I think my favorite thing to throw is a skirted jig, honestly. And this year, I think in my tournament fishing video, I showed you guys some new ones I had just picked up. There's some smaller ones, and they're the VMC jigs, and they have the wire. They were like $3, man. Fish more for less. So these are all like just some sort of small size skirted jig. None of them are tungsten, and honestly, most of them are Strike King Bitsy Bug. And why'd I go with that? Well, here in northern Michigan, we don't have a lot in the way of fishing stores or tackle shops. We have Dunham's, which is all over northern Michigan, and that's my main tackle source. And we have Walmart, Wally World. Those are my main two. And we also have a place called Jay's Sporting Goods. That's in Gaylord. It's a little over an hour away, hour south of me. It's pretty good, and it's definitely more of a big box store feel. That's where I got those TFO walleye rods from that were on sale for $39.99. So I do go down there. It's a ways away. It's not my favorite place for some reason. I know why, but it's not my favorite place. They do have veteran parking. No veteran discount, but they'll give you a parking spot. Whatever. So getting back to that, Walmart sells Strike King Bitsy Bugs all over up here. I fish with what I can get at Walmart and Dunham's. If I need to replace something, I would love to have a bunch of Megabass stuff, but I can't quickly replace that, and I don't have a stockpile of bait on the shelves of lures just to backfill my tackle. Like, what you see is what you get. So to be able to run to Walmart or to Dunham's or even down to Jay's and get what I need and know that it's going to be there, especially now that I'm tournament fishing and have quicker access to baits and lures. That's kind of why I also keep it simple and price, man. Fish more with less. So we're gonna go from the small ones. First of all, let's put some coffee on this. All right, so we did our small skirted jigs. Now our larger style skirted jigs. I do. I stockpile one thing, and I'm gonna go get it and show it to you. This is ridiculous, but this is the one jig that, and I wouldn't even say I stockpile it. I just have a few backups. But this is the one jig that started jig fishing for me, and as ridiculous it is, I get these ones at Dunham's, and obviously this is my favorite color, the bluegill. These are, as you can see, they're not like super high-end jigs. What are they? They're booyahs, and I've caught more fish on this jig. I've ordered jigs. I have ordered others. It's not that I haven't ordered stuff from places before. This is the Dirty Jigs, Luke Clausen casting jig. I don't know. Color is the go-to. That's sweet. That's my only one. You know, like, I feel like I have to have a backup for whatever bait I'm using. Hence, going out and buying another Stunna. I want to be able to back it up. If I have success on it, I risk and I lose it, I want to be able to back it up, really. So ordering from Tackle Warehouse isn't the quickest for me. And you know, I'll get to the point where I can maybe order 5 of those. But that being said, Dunham's has Strike King. So I buy, what are these? These are like swivel head Strike Kings. I'm sorry, I went from regular skirted jigs into swim jigs already, but these are all Strike King swim jigs. So yes, I do order some stuff, but I prefer to buy it right here where I am, where I know I can get it if in a pinch. And I can't get Tackle Warehouse in a pinch, or Cabela's, or what you know, whatever. And that's a hindrance to me, honestly, because mentally when I'm out there, like, I always go, that's probably why I've caught more fish on the booyah than anything else, because I always go straight, when I'm out there, I go straight to the booyah, because I know I have a backup to a backup to a backup. This swim jig, that's a 6th sense, I think it is. I don't have a backup to a backup to backup. I don't even have a backup one of those, so it keeps me from using it, because I'm like, what if that gets hot and I get bit off? Which is probably a really idiotic way of thinking, but that's how I think. And then something that I should have thrown in the tournament that I definitely, even to this point, in the last 5 years fishing, I haven't really thrown this much at all. And I can count the amount of fish, sadly, pathetically, I can count the amount of fish on one hand that I've caught with a bladed jig. Skirted baits are my like main confidence. For some reason, the bladed ones weren't. I don't. Well, I'm gonna fix that this year, this spring. Chatterbaits, swim jigs, regular pitching, flipping, as Matt Allen likes to say, Arky style head, and then of course, you know, the spinner baits. Last year was the first year I really started fishing spinner baits to any extent. I had thrown them before, like, because I knew I needed to throw them. I never put any effort into them, but now, this year, I'm going to have just a dedicated rod for spinner baits, I think. Pretty much, it'll just be set up, have a spinner bait in my canoe with me the whole time. And I'm hoping I got enough rods. I'm just planning on having one just for chatterbait, one for the small jig, one for bigger jigs, skirted jigs, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'm gonna run out of rod real quick. These new boxes, it's the Evolution series, and I literally went from the first Evolution to the second evolution of Evolution, and I love this thing. I want to get one of the 3700, the thick ones, because I think I could then get rid of this and this. I don't know, something. I'm going to figure it out, but I think I could just almost go down to 3 of these rather than half of this crazy mess over here. So another technique that a family of technique that I have not been really, which is ridiculous, and I have a rod for it, but it's just not been, I don't know why, not been one of my main go-tos, especially, which is so stupid because I'm a bank pounder, man. I pound the shallows in the banks. That's where I live because I don't have electronics. And so, and I'm fishing all these little northern Michigan lakes where it's skinny water, most of them, except for the one in the tournament that I just did that was 150 feet deep. But that being said, top water. My wife just got me all these El Chapos for Christmas. So these haven't even seen water yet. I just got 2 of those buzz baits for Christmas. And the other one I had 3 frogs, and then this spring I just went out and bought one's a Booyah, one's a Strike King, and like, what is that even? Really? Is that gonna work? Am I even gonna throw that? No. But I have a rod for top water, a heavy action Dobbins, 7'3". So I really gotta get on that this year as well. And then, like I said, this is the Evolution. This is the terminal tackle box, and I love this compared to having it in a box like that. I'll bring you in close here so you can check it out. I really like it because, for one thing, I can put all these packages in here, and I used to have to like fold them in half, you know, to stick them down in a groove of my last one. But I really like how that holds, and I'm able to separate all of my hooks and different styles and stuff, and my weights. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So that's that box. And then my bread and butter, my main squeeze, soft plastics. And I'll just come right up front. #1 soft plastic, hands down. This whole bag, same one, different colors, same colors. I'd love to meet this guy and just tell him thank you, because Skeet Reese Pit Boss from Berkley, that is what started it right there. I randomly knew I needed some sort of creature bait. If you watched my video from before about my sub $1,000 rod setup, I talked about my buddy who took me out bass fishing, and he had all these soft plastics, and I knew I needed a worm when I started fishing because of fishing with him, and I needed some sort of weird creature bait. Didn't know they were, you know, beaver style. Didn't know any of this stuff when 5 years ago when I was out buying. I happened to buy that bait. That is still my #1 Texas rig. It is my #1 trailer on my bigger jigs. I just run all different. I just have a plethora of colors. #1 color, absolutely in the Pit Boss though. My son, for my birthday, that first year, that first spring when I had found the Pit Boss and bought him, and I was buying pretty much just green pumpkin and green pumpkin green flake. Those were my main 2. And for my birthday in July, my son had bought me green pumpkin purple. The fish I caught on that one entire bag of bait were substantially larger than the fish I was catching on any other color. It was, I was like, what in the world is going on? And ever since then, green pumpkin purple is my go-to main color. And I've even, you know, figured out in fly fishing, purple, everybody's always says orange. Orange is, man, I don't know, purple with steelhead, purple with bass, there's something to that. I really believe. So, Skeet Reese Pit Boss from Berkley Power Bait. And I do use other creature baits or beaver style baits. I'll use some smaller ones for my smaller jigs and for smaller, later uses. But my main go-to, that. Then of course, I got them just in random bags. They don't even match up. Of course, Yum Dinger, my main color with that chartreuse tip, green pumpkin. Second color, watermelon red, whatever. There's a million colors. And I saw somebody carrying their stick baits in a box like this, so I started doing it, and it was okay on my boat. But now that I'm tournament fishing out of a canoe, That's not great, especially if you got to stand it up like that. They're going to get all deformed. So going back to just bags, I'm feeding my bags back out of here. This is my my excess storage for the Cincos or stick bait style. And then, like I said, just some other smaller. I use these in the tournament as trailers for my smaller skirted jig. They're just the Yum Crawdad. And then late last year, I picked up some net bait pack of slims, and those, I really started liking those. Those were fishing them just plain or on the trailer of a smaller jig. So that's a quick rundown of my tackle that I have, that I make work, that I use. All right, so when I went down to Jay's Sporting Goods and I had found that sweet deal for $39 for the TFO professional walleye rods, I'd bought another one too, because that is a smoking deal. So this is the TFO professional walleye, 7-foot, medium, moderate fast. So I will find a use for that. But the reason I didn't include this one in my sub $1,000 setup was I wasn't using it, haven't used it yet, didn't have a reel for it. But my post-tournament shopping spree, I went to my #1 tackle source, Walmart. I bought the old, I don't even know what it is, Abu Garcia Max STX. Don't know anything about it. It was like $50, but figured since I'm going big time now, no, I don't believe that. I need to be more modest. Not going big time. I'm not big time. I don't know. I just figured I'm definitely going to take tournament fishing serious and hopefully go bigger eventually. But I really feel like the more rods you have, the better your chances at success can be. So just once again, rather than having to order something and wait, now I can go fishing tomorrow. I have, this, whatever. Most of my other reels are from Amazon, so what's wrong with an Abu Garcia? So I got that, and then at Dunham's, because we don't skimp on fishing line, we skimp elsewhere, not online. I bought some 6-pound, but also at Walmart, shockingly, great for this little company. I want to support Michigan and Midwest companies for sure, even though this says made in Guatemala. What the frick? All right, well, anyways, Great Lakes Finesse. Definitely not made in Michigan, huh? So I got some ball head jigs, Great Lake Finesse, and an underspin. I have one underspin. Don't think about it. Maybe I've caught one fish. I don't think so. But I really want to focus on more of a BFS and smaller swim bait style fishing this year, this spring specifically, because you're only as good as your repertoire is deep, right? Of what you know how to do and your style. I got some, I guess red. I don't fish in the spring. I don't bass fish early. We're just ice off early spring right now, pre-spawn. I'm usually steelheading right now every year, even all these last 5 years that I've been a bass fisherman. I'm usually steelheading right now and brown trout fishing. I'm usually not worried about the early spring bass fishing, but all you ever hear is red and orange. So I didn't feel like I had that area covered, especially with soft plastics. They're that color covered, especially in soft plastics. So red or orange trailers for some chatterbaits, because I really want to focus on that. And then there's some smaller jig trailers, or I can use those with the underspin. I think I got some other jig heads. I gotta focus more on that than just Texas rigging a Pit Boss or a Cinco, or wacky rigging a Cinco, or throwing a skirted jig. I got another buzzbait, Straight King. It's not, like I said, I would love some mega bass stuff, but I don't have mega bass right here. I don't have access to mega bass right here. I have access to Straight King and Booyah. So that's what I get, because if this little guy, this little teeny buzzbait starts hammering, at least I can get another one by tomorrow at Dunham's. And Dunham's is all throughout Michigan and even just the Midwest down into the southeastern Midwest, I believe. Another, just a backup for my other one in case it gets bit off, right? Big butt baits. Z-Man Slim Swim Z in Space Guppy. I finally know what I want to be when I grow up. A professional kayak bass fisherman. Can we get there? Stick around. Yeah, we're gonna get there. So that's pretty much it. My soft plastics, already went over that. That's my Pilo shizzle that I fish with, Mo Frickies. And now we're gonna finish this up with me putting this on. I'm probably gonna spare you all the figuring and measuring and cutting and all that crap and just show you the finished product on the tournament canoe. Let's go. One more thing, one more set of tackle I have. I forgot it was still in my milk crate from the tournament. It was on the floor. I use these on my swim jigs up to this point. I have the Kitech Swing Impact Fat. And then I also use Z-Man Neds. And then just some more different trailers for hopefully like chatterbait this year. And then of course I had to buy the Greg Blanchard fish stick crawfish scent. Whew, that stuff's strong. And now, finally, Mo frickin' Anchor Wizard. Yeah. Everett, Michigan. No kidding. Did not know that. Let's go, Anchor Wizard. Heck yeah. This says to, I don't know. The Anchor Wizard has finally mounted, Mo Frickies. Let's go. Loosen it. It goes down. Tighten it. Comes up. Boom. Done. All right, everyone. Once again, thank you for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate your time. I truly mean that. Today we just went over a few of my baits that I have. Well, actually all of my baits that I have, especially the Berkley Stunna, the trophy winner. And then we finally installed the Anchor Wizard on the canoe for tournament fishing. So stick around. There's gonna be a whole lot of on the water time now coming up. Maybe a few more mods here or there in the old canoe, but a lot of tournament fishing, a lot of practice, a lot of fishing. So stick around. Please like and subscribe if you liked what you've seen so far. And I appreciate you. See you next time, everyone.